Hello there YouTube, Devin here again, and today I have another web equipment set to show you from the First World War. This is on a little known set. This is the Canadian 1916 pattern set of equipment. Now, this is kind of a hybridization of the Canadian 1899 pattern set and the British 1908 pattern set. And it was made using materials Canada had access to, which is primarily leather, and has a lot of features that are similar or the same to the 1899 pattern set, and a lot of features that were added based off of the 1908 pattern set. Now, first off here from the front, you can see that there's a set of leather braces that connect to the belt, as well as these ammo pouches in the back. So they each have little brass D-rings, and the pouches are just a simple loop, alright, on the back of it there, that holds that D-ring, and then there is a little D-ring on the belt that sticks up at the top, and they're square, and the straps themselves have one big strap that runs through both those D-rings, and then it buckles back on itself. Up here, as you can see, there's the buckles there, and this is the excess I've got kind of wound through the web straps just so they're out of the way. Now these pouches, I actually really like these pouches, and I actually really like the set of equipment because this is the first set of equipment that basically these are like universal pouches. They don't have a specific purpose. If you're an infantryman, they can carry clips, they can carry loose ammo, they can carry grenades, they can carry everything. It's just a big open pouch, as you can see there. It's just a nice big open pouch. So whatever you can fit in here is whatever you could carry. And that is awesome for the soldier because it gives you a versatility. It's not like the 1908 pattern set where you have ammo pouches specifically for holding stripper clips. You can't really do a whole lot else with them because they're too small to really fit anything else. But this can hold grenades, this can hold mortar rounds, this can hold stripper clips, loose ammo, anything you can fit in here is what you can carry. And then they kind of squish down real easy too if they're empty, which is good if you're trying to go prone. Now another thing to go prone, a cool design feature, now this is kind of a carryover from the Canadian 1899 pattern set and earlier British designed pattern equipment, whereas they're sealed by these buckles, okay, and they open forward like this. Now the reason that's good is because when you lay down, alright, you don't have a seam here, or like the mouth of the pouch isn't right here. So when you lay down, you're not pushing dirt into your pouch. Having it close in the back like this keeps dirt and stuff from getting into the pouch. It allows you to lay down, and then you open the pouch outward and it rolls back, rather than, you know, having it open this way, which means there's a seam here. So when you lay down, you kind of fall forward. It's just pushing dirt through there into your pouch. And then when it would be open here in the front and you go to close it, you're just scooping dirt into the pouch when you're laying down, which is something you don't want to do. Dirt and ammo don't mix very well. So these are big universal pouches basically that can carry whatever the soldier needs. And they hold a lot of ammo actually. I haven't measured it because I don't actually have enough 303 stripper clips, but this holds all 40 of the stripper clips I have. If you really smash them in there, you can hold a ton of ammo in these, which is a neat feature to have, especially when supplies are low and you don't want to resupply as often, and you don't have to worry about it as much with something like these. Now, this web set also distributes weight really well because it's not a set of braces that cross or anything. It's an actual padded yoke. So it actually has a big yoke, as you can see here, that distributes the weight really well across the belt, having 3 points of contact, the other one being here in the back, as you can see beneath the huge pouch here. This is where the back of the yoke attaches to the back of the belt. Okay, I have my water bottle here off the side. It's not a World War I era water bottle, unfortunately, but it's the same exact design. So just later World War II made out of leather. This is a carryover as well from earlier Canadian patterns as well as British patterns. On the left side, I have the bayonet frog. Now this would hold the pattern 14 bayonet or the SMLE 1907 bayonet. If you would have been issued a Ross, or given a Ross or found a Ross or whatever, you would have a different kind of bayonet frog on here for the Ross. That's it. This is all that's going on here on your left side. Okay, and then on the back here, you can see that the large haversack or knapsack or backpack or whatever you want to call it, all right, is routed through these little straps and into these upper buckles, okay, on the set of equipment, on the braces on the yoke. We'll call it a yoke. On the yoke. It's set on the yoke here that straps right in. So that way when you need to leave this behind the lines, you just undo 2 buckles and it slides right off, okay? All right, then here in the back, you can hook this to your belt as well for better weight distribution. This also, these 2 rings that are formed here are adjustable to provide space for your greatcoat or your blanket or anything, which means that you're taking that out of your large haversack, which means you have room for more gear. So if I squat down here so you can see it. The large haversack is meant to carry a lot, unfortunately, for the British soldier. And this just takes 1 very bulky item, or 2 very bulky items, and moves it beneath the large haversack, so you don't have to carry them. They also double when the large haversack is off, and you don't route it through these little belt hooks. It can still carry the greatcoat and the ground sheet or the blanket or whatever you want to put in there. Okay, freeing up more space in the large haversack, and that can also be left behind the lines. And then beneath that, on the same little hangers, these little hangers slide, that these little loops are running through that are on the large haversack that connect to the belt, all right, is your small haversack, or your knapsack, or your bread bag, or whatever you want to call it, based on whatever country you're from has called it. It's been under a ton of different names, and I've heard it called a valise, I've heard it called a knapsack, I've heard it called a bread bag, I've heard it called a haversack. It can be whatever you want it to be. And that is covering your butt, basically. Kind of flops around. But it's out of the way, and that's one of your relatively lower profile pieces of gear. So that's just fine, bouncing off your butt. You don't need to worry about really smashing it or anything in there. And that was given for the sole purpose of holding extra water, your mess kit, and your rations, all right? Everything else was meant to be kept in your large haversack in this pattern of equipment. So that's just for your rations and your food and your other daily items you're going to need, okay? Nothing articles of clothing are supposed to go in there. That'd be for your bar of soap. That'd be for your shaving kit and stuff too. All right, but like your not everyday use items, your changes of clothes, your socks, and everything else are going to be kept in your large, your rucksack, your haversack, your large pack, whatever you want to call it. This set came out in 1916 to officially replace the Canadian 1899 set of equipment in Canadian service. Okay, the 1899 set of Canadian equipment did see service through the end of World War I, and this saw service through the interwar. This was used in conjunction, so it was not going to replace the 1908 set of equipment with Canadians in World War I. The 1908 set of equipment, the British Cotton 1908 set of equipment, was used through the end of the war by Canadians, but Canadians after 1916 being sent over to Europe would be given this, all right? And they would use this until this would break or too many components of this would be lost or anything like that. Then they would be given after that 1908 set of equipment. This would not be replaced while the Canadians were in theater. This would be issued and then sent with the troops over to France or England, and then they would wear this either through the end of the war until it became too broken to use, and then they would get 1908 set of equipment. But this is a little known set of equipment because it really didn't make its debut until late 1916. You see some start to show up mid-1916, but it doesn't really start showing up in force until late 1916, which was nearing the end of the war, and the Canadians didn't have a super heavy presence in the war either. So this is a pretty little known set, but a very comfortable, a very ergonomic set. I have a very good range of movement, very awesome weight distribution with this. I have more room on my belt, even though this is as small as it can possibly be configured. So this belt can expand way out further. I'm a small guy, so the yoke is as short as it will go, and the belt is as small as it will go, and there's much room to expand. I think I can add something like 18 inches to this waist if I want. I think I can add almost 8 inches of height to this yoke as well if I need to. So it was a very configurable to size type of equipment. So it did get issued in a one size fits most kind of thing, which was, back in the day, I'm actually a little larger than the average soldier was. I'm about 10 pounds heavier and about 1 inch taller than the average Canadian soldier of the World War I era period. But they would have probably loved this equipment, and from all that is little documented about it, it does seem that the Canadians actually really did enjoy this equipment. It would ultimately be replaced during the interwar period by Pattern 37, so, which was a very effective set of equipment itself. But I do firmly believe that this is going to be an awesome set of equipment to shoot with. I can't wait till I actually get out to experience this like fully loaded and shoot with, because I haven't yet. This still all needs to be darkened and oiled, and this is really a set that, like most leather sets like this, when you get it, you want to fill it as heavy as possible and hang it on something or just wear it all the time, because you need the leather to stretch and to like form into position to where it should be, you know, so it fits together well. Because right now a lot of the leather is very rounded. It hasn't quite got its creases in it yet and everything, and it needs to do that to be a really fully functioning set of equipment. But hopefully you guys like this video and you subscribe if you like this sort of thing. I hope this set of equipment is something you haven't seen before, and once again, if the comments do like it, I will show you how to assemble this set of equipment if you're interested in a separate video. And I have videos and live streams on darkening leather equipment and taking care of leather equipment, which is in a lot of ways better than cotton equipment and in a lot of ways worse. So it really comes down to preference, and most what it comes down to is what the country of origin had access to. So hopefully you guys like this video and you subscribe if you like this sort of thing. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something. If you did, please leave a like and share the videos, and everything goes a long way to support the channel. It means a lot to me. And hopefully you guys have lots of questions about the set. Hopefully you have some added information or anything. If I did miss anything, I'd be more than happy to know about that stuff in the comments. So hopefully I'll see you all in the next video, and stay tuned for more. Bye.